Hello and welcome to the Football Parliament podcast, your one stop destination for all your football discussions, debates, and opinions. So, today we will be discussing about Barcelona, rather, the downfall of Barcelona, I should call. So, for this, I have a Barcelona fan as Nishit Nair, and I have a Real Madrid fan as Vedant, who will definitely be having a banter, one or two banters with Nishit. But starting with Nishit, reviewing the season, just give an overview to the viewers. How do you review the season?
So I think this season has been a good start to the process that has been opted by Ronald Koeman and even our new president, let's say Laporta. He also would feel that this season is a good kickstart to what has to come. But anyway, talking about the downfall, I think the dead meat has to go. The dead wood, everything, all of them have to leave now. It's high time that we throw them away because if we still continue to play with these people, I don't think our youngsters are going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about the season, obviously, not one trophy rather, not just no trophies. One
Hmm.
trophy, not competing. Competed. You competed like for the third week, third last week. You were competing for the La Liga. Not a disappointing season. I would say still a downfall is continuing. Obviously, this has to do with the thing that the chairperson was removed during the season. There were revolts outside the Camp Nou. Obviously, there were ups and downs. Just
Hmm.
highlighting some of the points. How do you see the season? Still, you were given green arrow to the season, or still a red arrow going down?
I think from mid December to January, I think our fans gained a lot of hope. That was the time when Atletico started losing points, and we had a pretty good run.
Just
Even
cutting
that,
in, even before the Celta Vigo game where you all lost, the fans had hope. Like a
yeah,
Barcelona fan texted me saying that Real Madrid will lose their games, Atletico will lose their games, and Barca will win title. And I
I
was like, this aged well.
so
Going back to you.
So the thing is, like you said, even I had little hopes, but that doesn't mean I knew that it wasn't going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be easy for us. Celta Vigo has always been a tough team. Like you said, Real also managed a good win against Bilbao, so that has made things very interesting. But I think the title is going back to Atletico. So, and I'm very happy for that. To say. So the thing is, like I said, the downfall. About the December and January thing, we had a very good away run this time, which we haven't had for a while. So that's a good highlight of the season. Young players like Moriba and Pooj have and Pedri, they've been our highlights of the season. So I think it has been okay. And
Vedant, yeah, sure.
Hmm.
Nishit.
and talking about the last 3 weeks of La Liga, even I had hopes until we drew to Atletico away at home. Sorry.
No, not going to Vedant. As a neutral fan or as a fan in the league, how do you see Barcelona this season? Definitely not as bad as the last season, but how do you see this season?
See, Barcelona this season. See, first of all, before even I start, I'd just like to mention that Barcelona are a side which are undergoing transition. And when it comes to transition, they're way ahead of their arch rivals Real Madrid. First thing to be noticed. Second thing being they're way better than what they were last season. I mean, there was lack of creativity in the midfield, and this season you can clearly see that the likes of Frankie De Jong and Pedri have stepped up and have you know had that role in the midfield, and even Busquets for that matter. Last season he was really, I think I should say, terrible, but this season, I mean, against Atletico Madrid, he got injured, and his absence could really be felt. And that's where even I noticed that where Spain can feel his absence because I'm a Spain fan too. So that's a big plus point for Barcelona that their midfield has really improved. Then I'd just like to pinpoint some facts that Ricky Puig, he didn't have much starts this season. I mean, Ronald Koeman is relying on his young talent. I mean, someone like Ricky Puig, I've seen his games. He's really, prospect, and he should really get more game time. And he's faithful to Barca. That's what I would like to say. And he should get more game time. Koeman suspects that he's the one who's selling all the news, to Marca or AS and stuff. So that's where Koeman could work a little more. I mean, give the guy some more starts. I mean, He's been used 25 times this season, and most of them have been when he's been a sub. And there's one very big mistake which Barcelona made, and even Juventus, that swapping Arthur Melo for Miralem Pjanic. I mean, Bartomeu bought in Arthur in the 2018-19 window with a idea that this guy will be the next Iniesta, although not the next Iniesta, but something a little close to Andres Iniesta, one of my favorite Barcelona players ever. But that didn't happen, and again, the guy, he swapped him for a 31-year-old Miralem Pjanic, and you can clearly see that Koeman is not even relying on him for the second choice CDM role. If Busquets is out, it's Frankie De Jong who switches to CDM, and then he introduces Elias Moriba to the game and doesn't even use Miralem Pjanic. So that's been a clear blunder, and I'll actually pinpoint a weakness of Barcelona, which is their transfer activity of lately. They couldn't sign a new centre back. That's also their weakness, that they need to strengthen their centre back position. Samuel Umtiti isn't great enough to start for Barcelona. Clement Longley, for that matter, his French teammate, is also not great enough to start for Barcelona. Then Gerard Piqué, he's obviously a club legend, but he's aging and he's not the same world class player we once knew. Nishit thinking about the world class Gerard Piqué. Then there's also been a lot of actually over reliance on the youth players like Pedri or Frankie De Jong or Ansu Fati. I mean, they're young. They definitely have got a lot of game time compared to Real Madrid's youngsters, but there's been an over reliance on players like Pedri and Ansu Fati. I mean, Barcelona have really missed Ansu Fati this season. Looking at their left flank, you can clearly notice that. So that's another weakness. Going to you, Nishit.
No, I'll just, if you're talking about Barcelona, we have to address the elephant in the room. Messi leaving this season or is he not? Nishit.
I don't think he's going to leave. I really want him to leave though now
So, no, how do
because
you see the new project?
the new project, I want it to be around Ansu Fati. Always said this thing, and I don't really want Messi to stay because we're not going to win trophies with this defense, at least. Um, and we need solid centre backs, like Vedan mentioned. We really don't have anyone except Araujo, who I think has been lacking. But even Mingueza has been good, but he still needs a lot of games to like reach where at least La Liga level now, because people can get on top of Barcelona easily. One counter attack, let's say the last game against Vigo, the entire half, Celta had one chance. Our best centre back, as per I mean a lot of people, Gerard Piqué was looking at the ball while he was shooting and had his hands behind his back, and even blocked Ter Stegen's view, to which poor Ter Stegen was also criticized a lot. I mean, that was some shambolic performance. I don't even have words to say for that. Then
If
our best, another centre back,
yeah,
Clement Longley, he got a yellow card. I don't know what he was doing there. Then we were down to 10, and I knew that this was coming. One attack and it would be all over.
if you're talking about Messi leaving, and I think all three would be agreeing that Messi should leave. If you talk about the squad, then see the goalkeeper position looks very sorted according to me. He for the next 5 to 6 years or rather more, Barcelona is very much sorted with. Going
Yeah.
into the defense, that is the major hole. But we
Mm.
have Eric Garcia coming in. We all know this fact. Like Eric
Yeah.
Garcia is a done deal, and it is just a matter of few days when it will be announced as well. So
Yeah.
with Eric Garcia, anything new would be added, but according to me, still you lack a centre back there. Moving on to midfield, the midfield of trio of Puig, Pedri, and Frankie De
And
Jong looks very much sorted according to me. But Barcelona are still chasing a central defensive midfielder who could replace Sergio Busquets, a person who could manage the defense and the midfield together. So and in attack as well, like Barca academy has so many graduates that they should not be concerned about, but still they lack a goal scorer. If Messi has to leave, they would lack a person who has to carry the team with 40 goal contributions, 50 goal contributions per season. So how
mm.
do you see, like if you were to be made the manager right now, considering all the finances have to be respected, that Barcelona are not having so much of finances, how do you manage this transfer window for this window as well as the two upcoming windows? Nishant.
So what I'm going to say, like, let's say the La Masia, and I just saw this yesterday that they have also had a change of president. So and I think it's a good step because the La Masia is something that has been our best productivity. I mean, the best productive players are produced by La Masia and Ajax for that matter. So Nico Gonzalez is one player who can replace Sergio Busquets. Alex Collado is another player who plays very well and is, I mean, he's been taking our best free kicks after Messi, of course, in the club for La Masia. Talking about, and let's say if I was a manager, I would invest in these players. Let's say Eric Garcia, like you mentioned. I think he will be a good deal for Barca. He's a youngster and he'll have the legs to play the 90 minutes as well. And there's another player, Emerson. I don't know Chirag if you know him. Vedan must know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, so Emerson is a very good talent, and we are looking to get him back to the club. So and we really lack a striker right now because of which we don't have a person. Let's say Griezmann. Griezmann is not completely a striker. He's a center forward who's number nine technically, not a proper number nine. He plays behind the striker. So we really need someone who can score. Let's say Aguero. It's not a good deal to get Aguero back and let Suarez go. I mean that's just waste. There's no point in doing that. And we have good wingers. Trincao is a good talent, but he needs to show up. I mean, we shouldn't sell him this season because it's not been the time. He's not been given enough time to showcase what he is. And so Genio Dest is a good player. Emerson can cover for Jordi Alba. Araujo, Mingueza, I think will be a better defensive unit next season with these
So
three youngsters in the
if we
midfield.
have the attack sorted very much with Griezmann, Aguero coming in,
Chirag.
yeah, with Aguero coming in, I would still say something Griezmann, Aguero, Messi, Fati, and Trincao could be a very good solution for a season or two. So something investment in the defense, maybe a center back. See, we all saw Liverpool saw the rise, the best of their form when they got in Virgil van Dijk. Man City are going to win the title and are competing for the Champions League final when they have the addition of Ruben Diaz. So obviously, a centre back addition, a world class centre back addition, changes fortunes for everyone. So how do you see? Do you see a world class centre back being signed? The like that I would say still in contention with people in contention will be like a Koulibaly who could be an out of the box choice, but obviously a commanding figure, a very well known figure all over the Europe. I would still say. So how do you see? Do you think? Because I personally would add a centre back in the position so that we have a very known figure who could command the defense as well as the midfield. Vidhan,
So, sorry.
yeah, just Nishit, one
Okay,
minute.
so the question is for me. Actually, Nishit mentioned one point that Eric Garcia is joining the club. Emerson could be back, and the guy can play right back and left back. So the full back position can also be a bit sorted. Then there's the addition from La Masia, the centre backs coming from La Masia. So that can be a great addition. But to be honest, I mean, Eric Garcia, in my opinion, is a bit hyped up player. I mean, I've seen him at Man City, and he's really not, promised me. I mean, convinced me. Sorry. So Eric Garcia would be a great addition considering he's free. Although no player is free actually, you have to pay some sum to the agent or something. So he's a great addition considering he's free. But Kalido Koulibaly, he would be a great addition. I mean, the guy wants to leave Napoli and win some trophies. And Napoli aren't the place where you could really lift some trophies. And Barcelona are. They can either win La Liga or Copa del Rey next season. You never know. So that's your defense sorted. Even if Kalido Koulibaly comes in, the defense is pretty much sorted. He can clearly, take up the role of Gerard Piqué, leading the back line. So that will be sorted. If you look at their midfield, Ricky Puig, Elias Moriba, Pedri, Frankie De Jong, they're completely, keeping the midfield sorted there. And if you look at the CDM position after Sergio Busquets, Nishit, what do you think about Elias Moriba's defensive abilities? Because against Atletico, I saw his defensive contributions and I was really impressed. So, what do you think about that?
I have also been very impressed by how Moriba has played and fared out. I think that is precisely the reason why Pjanic isn't used and Moriba is used because of his defensive abilities. Every game we see that Barca leads by just one goal. So you can't blame the defenders all the time because if you don't score enough goals, they can't protect the leads always. So, I mean, if Moriba gets more chances, I'm sure he'll improve and be a very good defensive midfielder. So he'll be in
Hmm.
the team again, I think, the next season as well. We've seen how he plays. We've seen he can shoot as well, but not hasn't been so good. He was unlucky against Real, the last minute.
The
I
pole
mean,
shot.
the post shot. So I mean that he is a good promising talent. And another name
Yeah.
was Upamecano. I really wanted to see him at Barcelona, and I really wanted. I don't think he's going to come, but anyway, that was one name that I wanted.
Upamecano to Bayern is a done deal, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah.
So we should have approached him when the time was right, but we did not
Talking about
because
French
I
centre
mean,
backs, just look at La Liga, right? Jules Koundé is available. Pau Torres is there, but
mm-hmm.
Pau Torres to Real Madrid is a likely done deal because the recent rumors are coming. Jules Koundé is a guy who can go to Barcelona. He's young and he's definitely one of the best centre backs La Liga have right now.
Yeah.
That can be a solution to the defensive problems Barcelona have. Then there's the attack. Messi, Messi should stay in my opinion. Barcelona and Messi, they're like a
Obviously.
they're like
No, I
a
know you
what do
just
you call
push the
Romeo
conversation to
Juliet,
the manager now.
Romeo Juliet duo. So
Vedant, now I'll
manager,
just try to put the conversation towards the manager. Nishit, what
hmm.
is your take as a Barca fan towards Koeman? We have divided opinions, we have divided camps. 50% still in for Koeman, 50% want him out, and a new transition with Javi or maybe someone new. How do you see this?
So I think Koeman has been here for one season and he's done a fantastic job, I think, because of how he's used the youngsters. And I would really love to see him for another season, maybe half a season. If it doesn't work, maybe change the manager, maybe get Xavi in. But I don't think Xavi is just yet ready for the um, job at Barcelona. He also needs time to figure things out. Even at Al Sadd, I know they've been a very good team, but he still isn't fit, according to me, to be the Barca manager. And if he comes in and if he fails, we really don't have more options. So I think it's far better to give Koeman another chance because we've seen he's done good things. Yes, we've failed in the big matches, but he's also been unlucky there. So against Juventus, if we see, uh, when Barca lost 3-0, it was not his fault entirely. It was the players' fault because they weren't there. They weren't even in the game. So it was only Messi rallying the troops always, like it has been, and no one else had any, matlab, no one else had any will to play like that. And Ansu Fati is a good player who's been out for the season, so I'm really excited for him to come back and showcase his talent.
And just talking about this season as well, we did that in the Real video as well. Who has been the most improved player according to you? Who has been the worst player this season? Who has been the best player this season? Just the names, three names according to you.
Antoine Griezmann has been the best player this season after Messi. Obviously, there's no comparison. So, second name I would like to say Sergio Busquets has improved a lot from last season because Sergio Busquets last season was terrible. I mean, the Busquets standards is too far. So, I mean, Busquets and the worst player would be Clement Longley. He's been the shittiest player we've had for the last 2 years. I really don't see him doing
Vedant,
anything in the team.
your take. Just the three names. Just the three names.
Okay, I'll just say the three names first and then I'll give the reasons and go back to the Messi dependence. Yeah. The most improved player, in my opinion, is Ronald Araujo. I didn't know the guy is really that good at centre back. I mean, I saw the Juventus Barca game where he gave a penalty. I thought this guy isn't really that great, and Barca fans just overhype him. But then I started watching some Barcelona games and I got to know that he's one of the best centre backs in La Liga right now. So the most improved player, in my opinion, is Ronald Araujo. I don't think Sergio Busquets can be in the category of the most improved because we all know Busquets was a world-class midfielder, and you if a player has a dip in form, there's no way you just improve. You just go back to that same great form again. So, in my opinion, for example, if Hazard he gets back to his best, you won't say he's the most improved. You'll just say that he's gotten back to his standards, like the Eden Hazard standards. So I think Ronald Araujo is the most improved player. The worst player, I'd say, I'd stick with Nishit on this. Clement Longley, in my opinion, is the worst player Barca have, and maybe they'll get rid of him. Then the best player, obviously, there's no doubt about that. It's Lionel Messi all day long. The guy scores all day long. The guy assists all day long. The guy plays everywhere. He does everything for Barcelona, and that's what Barcelona actually need to get rid of. I mean, that could cost them, at short term. But in the long term, it's actually great for Barcelona. They might get in Memphis Depay, who's a creator who plays at center forward or at the left flank, wherever. They should get in Memphis Depay, to be honest, because when you've seen at that creativity, only Messi or maybe Griezmann has added that creativity from the forward position. I mean, Pedri and Frankie De Jong do their job well, but you definitely need your forwards to create a bit for you. So Memphis Depay could be a great addition. I don't think Sergio Aguero should really come to Barcelona. In my opinion, he's finished. He can prove me wrong, and I'll be really happy if he proves me wrong because we all know what Aguero can offer. That's there for you at the attack.
So, analyzing the season, Nishit, should the Barca fans be crying again for the next season, or is there still a silver lining left that we should be hoping for something better?
We must hope for something better. I mean, there is a big silver lining there. I think we're in for a good season next season. And yeah, I really want to hope we do defensively well because we have the second most goals in Europe, if I'm not wrong. I mean, the second most chances created, I guess, not the goals. Second most chances created, and we've been very sloppy in the attack. So that has costed us a lot of games. But yeah, I'm in for a good season next season.
And Vedant, I don't think that you will be happy about that situation. But definitely, if you have competition with Barcelona, see both the La Liga giants, according to me, are going into a transitional phase. And when you have the talents in form of Vinicius Junior, Fati there, Pedri at Barcelona, definitely something big is to come, according to me. So I'll just say to you, Nishit, just a few words for our Barcelona fans now. What should they expect?
I really don't know. Every Barcelona fan has a different opinion right now. Half of them, one of my friends that I know, I mean, he's constantly been abusing Messi. Constantly been abusing Messi because he's been wasting chances. I mean, that is there. But yeah, I mean, I'm just quoting him that we need to get him out because he's really not helping us defensively, which is also true at, to an extent. So I don't know. I don't have more words for Barca fan. Just hope.
See, tactically speaking and in long-term ways, no, Messi really should leave the club because it's high time that Romeo and Juliet go separate ways. The marriage has to get over somehow. That's the same thing why Real Madrid got rid of Cristiano Ronaldo because in his last season you could clearly see that he's the guy who's creating, he's the guy who's scoring, and there have been lack of inputs by the remaining forwards or even the midfield for that matter because he's done everything. That's why we got rid of him, and now you can see like obviously we are in a transition, but Real Madrid play like a team now. They aren't that one-man team which we were a few seasons back. Coming back to Barcelona, I mean, there's no club right now who can afford Messi's wages. Even Man City, for that matter, Pep clearly stated that they don't even have the money to buy a striker. So how can they get Messi? Let's see what happens. We really don't know. And I'll just give hope to my fellow Barcelona fans that right now, Real Madrid are the ones laughing. We are the fans are the ones who are laughing. But in the long term, speaking, like in the next 2 to 3 seasons, we'll be the ones who will be crying because our Modric, Cruz, Casemiro will be gone, Benzema will be gone, and some young players will come up, and we'll rely on them. And you will be the one who will win La Liga and have a strong squad. We won't be. So right now, it's our time. Your time will come soon for sure, and it will be long term. Just have hope. That's what I have to say for Barcelona fans.
So this is all from the video. It's just a sigh of hope being given by our panelists here. So definitely we'll catch up soon. Do not forget to like, comment, and share if you have seen the video till here. And you can hear us on Spotify as well. So definitely check us out there as well. Thank you.
This also ends the fact that we are not a Premier League Parliament podcast. Okay, we made two La Liga videos. That's great. That's the video for today, guys. Bye.